So we've talked so far about what being authentic to yourself is all about. That's from a standpoint of, your truths and living in that, being true to yourself, being true to others around you. That there is no box. So there's no being in it or out of it. The box just doesn't exist. We've gone through all of those different parts and pieces. We've talked about how that's going to upset some people, and they're going to come back at you in various ways. So there's going to be some struggle to this whole process. But at the end of it, there is a prize. And Bridget, you want to talk about what the prize is?
So when we are our true, authentic selves, we can love ourselves for our strengths, we can accept our vulnerabilities, and we can acknowledge our worth. And not just introduce ourselves by our career or our accolades.
Yes.
And we talked about that before. And so when we are our true authentic selves, then we know our worth. Then we introduce ourselves as our true selves, who we are, our best selves, and not just what we do for a living, what we the accolades we've won or accomplished. And so to me, that is the prize. To me, that is the prize of becoming your authentic selves and being, the audacity to do that, having the audacity to do that. Like we said all through the session, is it takes some boldness. It takes some courage. You have to be fearless, and you have to be ready to accept some truths about yourself, to yourself, not just others. You have to start, like Bryan said, within first. You have to start within first. So it's an internal thing. And then those things that you identify internally, you can then express those outwardly to the people in your circle. And
Absolutely.
just like you say, you don't have to ask for permission. Like Tressena said, you don't have to ask for permission for them to accept you. It is what it is. And then meet people where they are. Meet people where they are. If they don't accept it, this is who I am. It's not a compromise, right? And so you definitely want to meet people where they are. And so that's the prize of this whole journey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would just say, the prize for me personally and being able to walk in my authenticity has been finding a sense of comfort and courage, because I didn't have any level of peace with trying to people please, trying to show up as who people thought I should be. And so it's not a place of getting comfortable, but you can find comfort in that it's okay to be me. I don't have to show up as anybody else. And the reality is, there ain't nobody else like me anyway.
It's not.
And why would I rob the world of who I am and who God has created me to be? So, and then the courage that it has taken to walk this out. A big thing that for me was fearing the loss of people, showing up as yourself. But losing some people has showed me what I need to start valuing most important anyway. And I didn't lose them because I left their life. They left my life. And so I started to look in a different direction instead of saying it was something wrong with me. So now I value this place of being authentic and having the audacity to show up as me. I want to share something real quick because I think it's important. And I won't get into the whole issue behind it, but sometimes as women, it's hard for us to show up as our authentic selves in a place where men normally lead and rule. It's hard in marriage. Sometimes we're told men are the head and you're supposed to follow and all this. So how do you show up as a woman in who God has created you as a woman and still be your authentic self? Because I didn't always find encouragement in that place or acceptance of who I was. And then in business, working with men who predominantly or most of the time they hold positions of authority. I remember I had a person, we had the same title and we were having a conversation and asked me, well, who do you think you are? You need to remember who you're talking to. And I knew at that moment, it wasn't about our title because we had the same title, but it was about the place of authority that they thought they had over me. And this conversation really is so deep and so important because we really can't show up as our authentic selves in a world that has placed some others as more valuable than others. And as women, we have been devalued in many sense.
Mhm.
So this has been a journey for me on so many different levels of how to be my true authentic self. God didn't place me in the earth as a man. He placed me in the earth as a woman, and I'm going to own it, all
Mhm.
of it.
All of
Mhm.
it.
And so, you know, that is the part that I have loved absolutely about being authentic. That's the prize. Matter of fact, I'm the prize. You
I
know.
love it. Yes, yes, yes. I love
So,
it. Yes.
and that's just for me, right? That doesn't come to say anything about any. That's just for me, and I have had to walk that out, and I see in others. Uh, Someone made a comment. Try managing men from various diverse cultures. It's a whole other
Oh,
issue.
yeah.
Yes, it really
Yeah.
Yeah,
is.
we could do this for for hours, like the song says.
Yes. But I'll just finish by saying that, you know, this is just about taking true ownership and not needing anyone else's permission to show up as me. I think that at the heart of being your authentic self is what really is the prize. That, you know what, I get to show up. I don't need anybody's permission, and it's gonna look different. And in a culture where, you know, we support same and we encourage same, when people are different in their authenticity, in their authentic selves, we don't know what to do with that
Mhm.
sometimes.
Mhm.
So find out where your prize is in being authentic and just own it.
Yep.
Absolutely own it.
Yep.
I
I
will say
agree.
that this new generation, I've learned over the pandemic that we went through, they've come up with some innovative ways to as of making money in careers that
Mhm.
never our generation and then even the one after ours did not come up with. So I can really say just by talking with a lot of young adults now that they're showing up authentic.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep.
They're very innovative, and they don't do the regular 9 to 5s anymore, and they can't hold them into
Mm-mm.
that box anymore. And so I
Yeah.
think it's just the older generations that have become so stagnant and so combative in terms of showing up as your best self. And those are the people that are saying, who does he think he is?
Mhm. Yeah.
Now he's trying to be this, and now she's trying to be this. And so yeah, it does. You have to really look at yourself and the circle and then see how they respond to you.
Mhm.
I tend to think that I am the sum of all of my experiences, and I am made up of all the people that I surround myself with.
Yeah.
Right? And
Mhm.
so you can see yourself in a lot of people. You may want to say, I'm not like them, but if you're spending a lot of time with them, it is something that you have. It's some commonality somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need to really identify, just not just inwardly, but outwardly as well, when you start to do this authentic journey. And another thing I want to say is the prize. I love when you say you are the prize, because you are, and we are the prize. And a lot of people don't see that, and you won't see it at first too, because you're changing into this person that you've
Yeah.
always wanted to be, right? And so
Yeah.
then you're always in your head. I know I am. I'm not sure about anybody else. I'm in my head. Should I have said that? And I come off as my authentic self. Sometimes I play back the response and okay, well, what did I say? And then what did they say? And then what did I say? So how did they come off mad? Like, what was it? I had to stop doing that. I had
Yeah.
to stop playing that back in my head, because now
Yeah.
I'm being my authentic self. I'm showing up as my best self. I know that I am, so I have to stop doing that, because that's still a small form of people pleasing.
People pleasing.
It's just
Yeah.
mentally, you're right. It's just mentally doing that. So
Yeah.
yes, we are the prize when we show up as our true authentic selves. We can love our strengths and not just what we do for a living, and not just our career, because we can get caught up in that, and we start
Mhm.
living, not living to a life, but just existing. And so being our authentic self changes like your whole world around you. I guess
Yeah.
basically what I'm trying to say. And so yes, I love the way you said we are the prize. I'm gonna write that and put that on a t-shirt.
I want to jump in there too, Bridget, because and you kind of just alluded to, you are the prize, right? And getting to that and understanding that. So if you go back here, this that last line says, knowing your worth, right? And I think that's where getting to the understanding of you
Mhm.
being the prize kind of all lies in that area. Until you can get to a point in your life where you're truly comfortable with your worth, who you are, know what you're about, what you stand for, all of that is tied into you having that realization, that comfort that I am the prize. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how they judge me or what they think about me.
Yeah.
Uh, the other piece I want to jump in on to when we talk about that is we just did a session a few weeks ago talking about comparing your life, right? And basically stop comparing your life, right? Because that's
Yeah.
another piece of this that can really undercut all of the work that you may do to try to be your authentic self. Because if you start looking over the fence, what's happening in their backyard,
Mhm.
and that's, oh, I need to do this, or I
Yeah.
should do that, or I really like this. Now you're actually doing things that are of value to other people, not truly of value to
Yeah.
you, because you're just doing it from a comparison basis to keep
Yeah.
up with the Joneses per se. And as
Right.
I said in that particular video, what happens is you may attain it, right? You may get that same thing, but you're not
Mhm.
going to be satisfied with it
Yep.
because it's not truly what was in you to begin with. It doesn't resonate with what's happening inside your soul. And
Yeah.
that's why it all starts with what's really going on inside of you.
That's
That's
right.
the key place to look. And if you're going to put forth the effort, if you're going to try to make a difference in your life, if you're going to make some changes, do it based on what's inside of you and let that come out. Don't take what's out in the
Right.
world and try to bring that in, because that's not going to satisfy you.